Hi, I'm Bhavesh, and in this video, we are going to look at the WRKJOB command, that is work with jobs. WRKJOB. So let's begin. We have logged into our AS400 session on pub400.com. As you know, everything in AS400 is an object. File is an object, program is an object, but also every activity that is running in the system is a job. Your compilation of a program is a job. The session that we are currently logged in is also an interactive job. If you have a menu, you're using a menu on the AS400 screen, you're iterating across various screens one after the other. That is also an interactive job. The batch jobs which run at night, they are also jobs. Every job has its own subsystem dedicated to it, and they run in their own subsystems. These jobs can also run parallelly when they are running in the same subsystem as well as different subsystems. Let us focus on the WRKJOB command. The WRKJOB allows us to work with job. There are various ways to access this command. One is direct. Last time we had seen work active job. Inside work active job, you can select a job, for example, WRKSPLF, and if I go on to file option over here, that is going to call work job command. But it says I don't have authority to this job because this is not my job. So I can find my own job if I want to. I can go into the QEnter subsystem and I can find my own job. There are shortcut keys to find the name of your job if you know which is your job. You can enter the subsystem also, like I've entered QEnter. QEnter is the interactive subsystem where you'll find all the jobs. I can do page down, I can search, and I can scroll. And if I find my own job, I'll be able to work with my job. The second way, which is WRKJOB, that we are going to focus on today. So we'll just call QCMD so we get a nice terminal session, which is clean. The thing to note here is that there is a key F10. If you press F10, you will get a detailed log. The administrators or developers, both on AS400 server, would require detailed logs of their actions. So if something fails, you can always press F10 to get the detailed errors that have come on the command line. So which errors and which messages are logged on the command line can also be changed by CHGJOB. We'll look at that later. But we can also work with jobs with WRKJOB. That is what we'll be focusing on today. So as you can see that this log has given me a nice little string of the job that is currently there. I can just copy the string and I can paste it in front of WRK. It becomes a WRKJOB command. If you go back to the command line, all I did is I copied the job string, which is nothing but the name of the job, job number, the user who has submitted the job, and the name of the job. I just copied it, I typed in WRK and pasted the rest of the job string. Now it becomes WRKJOB. When I press enter, it opens the work with job menu. The work with job menu allows you to work with the job. You can use various options. Which all options can you use? And which is this job? This is my job. This is an interactive job. How do I know that this is an interactive job? The name of the job starts from QPAD EV. Most of the interactive jobs by default have this as the starting prefix. It has my user ID along with it. It has a job number. So what all things can I see from it and what all things are important as for your day-to-day activities? The most important thing when you're working with jobs, if you want to debug or if you're stuck or if there is an error, what the job is logging is more important. So you can press 10, you can type in 10, that is display job log if active. Once you type 10, you'll get all the commands or all the logs that the job has generated until now. You can again press F10 here to get detailed job logs. I'll go enter to come back. Once you are back at the menu, the next important number or the next important item from work job over here, which would mostly be used, is call stack. So call stack will then tell you which all commands were executed or which all programs were executed before this specific command was executed. If you want to look at open files or if you want to see if the job is stuck in a loop, if it is iterating forward, if it is stuck at one place or whether it is iterating forward, if you want to find that, you can use the option 14. Option 14 will tell you the list of open files. You can press F11 here to get the RRN number, how many times the file has been read in input and output mode. You can get it here. You can get the relative record number of the specific record that is currently being read. If it is a proper job, then this will have a relative record number of the file, which is the unique number that you can get. If it is changing, then it means that it is reading the file ahead and the job is doing something. If it is stuck at one place, if you know that that is the file in which it is supposed to run now by looking at the call stack that you just saw, and if the RRN, the relative record number, is not changing, that means that your job is stuck at a place. Going back to the call stack, when the job is stuck in place, it will also show the same program over here. The program will not change. The last program is the currently running program. That will not change, and the statement identifiers will tell you which line it is currently executing. Even that line will not change. The next important thing to look at in work job is to end the job. So if you have found a job which you want to end, if it is causing problems in your system, if it is using a lot of CPU time, if you want to end it, we do option 41. Then we can do star IMMED, immediate, and 01 and enter. So this has given me an error that I cannot end my own job, but if it is someone else's job or if it is another job that is submitted, then you can end it. We'll look at one example. We'll submit a job and then we'll also work with that job. So I have a COBOL program with me, which I can call directly. I have compiled it. I can call it directly. If I call it directly, it will execute in my currently running job, which is in QEnter, but I can also submit it as a separate job, as an independent job in another subsystem, for example, to give it more priority or to run it in a different subsystem so that it can be run parallelly. Let us see how to do this. So if you have, I have a COBOL program, I can call it using the call statement. The name of the COBOL program I'll paste, the library in which it is present I'll paste. There are no parameters. I'll press enter. The job has produced a message that is hello world from COBOL. So this job has completed. Now, if I want to look at my job, where it has run, it has definitely run in my job because I've directly executed it with a call statement. So I can do work job again. I can go inside 10 option, and if I press F10, it will again show me the same call stack. I can do shift F6. It shows me hello world from COBOL. So it has logged my statement in the logs of this job. So it is my job that has run this COBOL program. Another important thing that to note here that we always use in work job is option 4, that is work with spooled files. When a job ends or when the job is currently running, it produces spool files. Spool files are very important to find out why the job has aborted. We will have another video where we will discuss how to look at and how to work with the job logs that get generated. Basically, once a job ends, it generates a spool file. So we will submit our own job now and see that in action. So if we just submit a job with SBMJOB command, submit job command, we can type the same over here, call. We can have a call statement of the same. The name of my COBOL program was test1cpl and it was in my library. So I'll just type in the string, the command string over here. I can specify other parameters, that is on which queue it should run, where the output should be logged, and so on, or the security level of the job, and so on and so forth. I can alter, but I'm just using this as an example to show that I can submit it as a job. Now it says that the job was submitted and it completed successfully. Now let me see if I'll be able to do work obj on this. Since it is already completed, it might not allow me. Let us see. So work job on this. So it says job not found because it did not assign a separate job name to this job and the job ended. It is not allowing me to work with the job, but if the job was actually running, then it would have allowed me to work with the job. The spool file and the job log, although has been created in my spool file, we can open the spool file with 5 option. After WRKSPLF command, we can go to the bottom and we can see that the job ended with end code of 0. So if there was any other end code, then it would have logged an error message at the top, which you can see in one of my other examples of the job log which aborted. So if you open this, this will say that the job end code was 30. So any other encode apart from 0 means the job has aborted. Only an encode of 0 means the job was successful. We can look at the error messages at the top. You have to look at this number over here, which is the severity level. Anything more than 10, anything more than 0 basically, but 10 would be informational messages. A higher number like 30, 40 or 50, these numbers usually indicate that there is an error on this line. So a message with a exception level of 30 is shown over here: input or output request failed. So if we just go to page up, it will give us more errors, and we'll be able to drill down on why this job aborted. So now it is giving me all 00 errors on severity level. So that means the error happened below. So I have to do page down, and I have to specifically find for the error that has occurred. So here it says job ended because device error occurred. Here it says input or output request failed, and it has given me a message code. Above there is a 70 severity message which says that the session stopped. So it looks like the session was arbitrarily stopped over here. So this is a way to look at the jobs and work with job logs and to find your errors. We'll dive into the details of how you can identify the errors and which severity level means what. So work job was the focus of today's topic, the basics of which we have covered. If you do like these kind of videos, kindly consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.